This is how the Japanese principle of Kaizen has helped me live a better life and improve myself in so many ways. I got to learn about the Kaizen principle as I was looking for a lot of content around self improvement and how to live a better life. So one of those days, I was on a party. I felt a bit bored, and of course, I saw content and I was listening to Japanese principles. Hira Hashibu, but then Kaizen became one of those principles I looked at and I was like, okay, let me try listening. So Kaizen is a process of continuous improvement. Yeah, where you focus on improving on a daily, yeah, and doing things and looking at the gradual process of improving in small, simple steps. So Kaizen takes the notion of you don't have to be perfect to do things, but you just have to keep improving on a daily. So I look at this process, this theme. I don't know what to call it, but it's the principle. And then I'm like, what if I try it? So one of the areas where I usually lacked confidence and where I struggled so much was on this YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to create a platform where I can share what I've learned with the world. And when I was starting this channel, I wanted to do good production, have a camera, have everything going on. And some of the videos I did, actually, I had to borrow a camera, and it was a bit hard. Borrowing a camera, setting up, learning lighting, learning so many things. So, where I had to record quite a number of videos, I'd only record like one video in a month. And then I would go to editing. I didn't know how to use an editing software. If I was to get one, probably had to be paid for. And then I also didn't have the money. And then in the process, I ended up not doing like quite enough videos, quite a number of videos. And I would lose interest. So I would post once in a month. Then the views on this channel would actually be very, very few. My average views are about 7, 10, actually 17 is the highest now I get. And I would lose interest because I'd put in a lot of effort and energy. When I learned Kaizen, I realized it's not about the result, it's about the process. It's about doing small things that bring about incremental improvement. So I said, what if I change how I do these videos? What if I change how I do things? What if I stop focusing on the big goal? What if I just keep doing small things and then I keep improving? So I changed how I do these YouTube videos. One of the videos I did is I did in a sitting room. I was using the phone. Actually, I use my phone right now. Just log in, go raw, and say whatever I wanted to say. And I posted the video. That video did well. I went to about 60 100 views. And I realized, okay, I can do this. So now I started testing with different venues and locations in my house, right now in my bedroom. And this gives me a much more better feel. I'm not using any lighting. I'm using my window for lighting. The light you see here is through a window. And then I'm just seated on my bed. And then I'm just learning to improve. This light I've just added because now I'm learning to improve to add a little bit of accent lighting and the rest. I don't have the best feel, but every day I feel like I'm understanding how to do these videos better. I'm learning how to do captions better. I'm learning how to do everything. So if you want to start, do something, you don't have to first wait to master that thing. No, you can start and then improve along the way. And that's what the Kaizen principle is all about. Many of us get so scared to do things because we feel like by the time we begin, we won't be perfect. And we dwell, we take a lot of time waiting to be so good so that you can start. Thinking for you to start a business, you need like a website, you need to have figured out everything. You won't figure it out on day one. You figure it out as you move. In one of my businesses that I'm doing, when I started the shoe cleaning business, a journey I documented on this channel, I didn't know anything about shoes. I didn't want to wash shoes. I didn't know how to clean shoes. I'd never run a brick and mortar business. One thing told me that as long as I've come up with the idea that there is a problem of people putting on dirty shoes, I must be able to start. So I started. Along the way, I got to learn lots of things about shoes, about cleaning, and about the business. The experiences I learned are the experiences that drove me towards the business of manufacturing detergent. Because as I kept learning, I kept improving. As I kept improving, I kept becoming better. Even when we started selling detergent, me and my partner, there is a lot we are learning on the job. I didn't know anything about distribution. I didn't know anything about packaging. I didn't know anything about labeling. I didn't know anything about sales. And I thank God we started from where we started from a point of not knowing anything, from a point of being bleak, from the point of being angers, from the point of being don't having knowledge. That in that process, everything that we felt like we didn't know, we had to uncover, discover, and execute. And I feel this has made me a much more better person now. Kaizen comes in play in a way that you don't need to wait to be good. You just need to start and perfect along the way. Small steps done repetitively will make you a master. Small steps will make you better. Small steps will make you greater. Initially, when I used to do these videos, I used to do a lot of prep work, read a lot of books. And then every time I would come to speak, my speed was a bit low. I didn't feel myself. Even the way I feel saying this video right now is different. Initially, I used to be so timid. I used not to feel confident saying these things. But now I feel like, yeah, I know what I want to say. I have an idea about it, and it has helped me. Yeah. And every time I want to record a video, I don't have to think hard. I just sit over here, and then boom, I'm sharing with you. And then boom, I'm speaking. And then boom, I'm reading. And then boom, I'm becoming better. I feel like my confidence levels have gone up. I feel like I'm learning much more. And I want to look at the videos I recorded in the past and this video right now. Maybe in the future when I have like a huge production, when I have my big podcast, which is the big dream, and say, these were the steps. And then you look back from where you came from to where you are, and you're like, okay, these were the steps. The beauty about starting from where you are is when you look back, you get to appreciate the journey. I used to be a guy who would do things, let's say, do a video or take photos and then after delete them because I felt like, that guy wasn't the guy I wanted. But that was part of the process. Right now, everything I do, I want to live there because I feel like that is me. That is what made me. That is what I've gone through. And that is exactly, that's what the process was. So wherever you are, appreciate the journey. But every day is a learning phase. Every day is a day to improve. Every day is a day to become better. So let Kaizen be a principle you follow, a principle of continuous improvement, a principle of becoming better. Even the masters do not stop training. They still do things to become better than who they are. But the challenge would be you wanting to become a master and you don't want to start because you're not a master yet. Begin from where you are. Appreciate the principle of Kaizen. Don't forget to subscribe, follow this channel, share with everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.